My name is Geraldine Lamberton. I am a qualified registered nurse with APRA, have been for the last 45 years. And I've been working at the Gladstone Hospital on and off for about 30 years. I did my hospital-based nursing in Sydney, then I came up to Queensland and I did a university degree, a Bachelor of Health Science. After that I did a postgrad in intensive care. I've done a hospital-based coronary care course, and I've also done a forensics course through Monash University for forensic nursing. And yeah, that's about it. And just, little on and off courses that I just do myself. So yeah, but my passion is cardiac nursing. We do a lot of cardiac nursing here at Gladstone. In the high dependency unit we get a lot of what we call MIs or heart attacks, and we normally either treat them or send them to Brisbane for treatment. I have 10 brothers and sisters. I have 4 sisters, and at one time we were all nurses. So my oldest sister, she was a midwife, and then she went into aged care, and then paediatrics, and then she went into aged care. So she was nursing until she was 64, I think. 64, yeah. And she was in aged care at that time, but she loved aged care the most, I think. But my other two of my other sisters, they did nursing as a stepping stone to get into something else. One did law and the other one did teaching, and another one just flitted in it, but she didn't like it. She said it was too hard. My grandmother was a nurse in Melbourne. She was actually a matron, so of a small hospital down there. But when I was born, I knew I wanted to be a nurse. That's all I wanted to do. I used to bring home sick animals, then I started bringing home sick people, so Mum knew I was going to be a nurse. I love it when patients come back and say, oh, guess what, I survived. Or if they see you in the street and they come up and just hug you and say, thank you so much, for all you did for me. That is just awesome. Yeah. Like, we really, really love that when somebody just comes knocking on our door and there they are, and, and they're as healthy as anything. Yeah. That's great. Yeah, well, we've actually, because I've been nursing for so long, I've got a lot of stories. But we had 2 patients, and they used to do this all the time. They would swap beds and, pretend that they were each other. And one day they actually swapped beds and armbands, and the nurse gave them the wrong medication. Because they swapped their armbands back, and she said, I gave it to you. And it was, so it was, no harm came to them, but it was just really funny that they swapped armbands too, because they knew that we checked their armbands when we gave them the medications. But that was a funny thing. And also, just drunks coming in, and, funny drunks are good, but not violent drunks. But I remember when I was training, we had a patient who escaped from the ward, and we had to chase him, but we were chasing him down King's Cross, because our hospital was near King's Cross. So we were all running down, the security guard, myself and the registered nurse, chasing this fellow down King's Cross, and a bouncer from one of the clubs tackled him to the ground. Anyway, and we took him back, the police officer taken him back. That was quite funny, but just the things that patients do and say to you, the amount of proposals I've had in my career has just been amazing. Just for giving pain relief. So working in HDU, it is stressful. It's very, very stressful. So you have to work as a team. You can't be part of that team and anticipate what the other person's doing. It is quite stressful. It is quite busy sometimes. And you don't get toilet breaks, you don't get meal breaks. That doesn't bother us. But you have to anticipate what that other person's doing and try and help them. So it is stressful, but they're really good people that I work with. They're amazing people that I work with. So we really fit well, so some better than others, but yeah, we just fit really, really well. Yeah, with the predictions for 2057. I agree with you, and I've heard that. I think there is going to be a shortage of nurses. But the thing is, though, they're not making. I mean, they're making it easy for girls to do nursing, but nobody wants to do it. It's a 24-hour job. I don't think they realise what they're getting themselves into. You know, like, and I hear it all the time. I don't want to be working afternoon shift. I want to be with my family. But that's just the way things are. You know, that if you're going to do this job, you've got to realise that it's a 24-hour job, and you're going to have to work weekends. You're going to have to work public holidays. You're going to have to work when little Johnny's, you know, making his first communion or he's playing his first soccer game. That's just the way it is, you know. And they're the sacrifices girls make, and boys, and they don't want to do it because basically they think, well, I should have it all. You can't have it all. That's all there is to it. I don't know what they're going to do. I really honestly don't know what they're going to do because I'm not going to be working that long. I think that they're the beds, and they'll have dispensing machines for medications and things like that, and I think that they'll have one person organising that. I don't think they'll ever get rid of nurses. I think with technology in the long run, it will improve patient care, but they've got to make sure it's going to improve patient care, not that it's going to help the patients, because that's what we forget about. We think, oh, we've got to help the nurses or we've got to help the doctors. Yeah, that's good, but we need to look at the patient care, because it's great, and I think I honestly do believe that Australia's got a really good healthcare system. It's not perfect, but we've just got to keep working at getting better and better and better. And we will. I think, as I said, cardiac's my love. So I think I remember when I was training, so I was around when they had the first heart transplant in Australia, and he died from pneumonia, from what I can remember. But, you know, like they used to use pig's valves, and I suppose they still do, but they've fine-tuned everything. Everything's fine-tuned. Microsurgery, I mean, that's amazing that they don't have to crack somebody's chest anymore. They can go in, you know, through the ribs, or they can do it, you know, through a vein or an artery. It's just amazing what they can do. And the thing is that we're getting better and better and better. Like, you know, with eye surgery and moving cataracts and things like that. It's just amazing what they can do. When I started nursing, they had none of that. And it's just getting better and better and better. It's hard for me to understand and to comprehend, but like the young ones coming through, they know, you know, they know. Well, we have machines to take blood pressures, take heart rates. They can even measure the oxygen in somebody's bloodstream. You know, like we have technology where we can test bloods by the patient's bedside. We have technology where we can look at a patient, look at their parameters on the monitor and say, oh, you know, that they're deteriorating or whatever, before they even show the deterioration. So it's great, the technology. That, you know, we're very, very spoilt, because we used to have to measure that all manually, you know, when I first started. Now, so in the olden days, as I say, the vital signs that we used to do manually would take us 5 to 10 minutes. So you would count their respirations for a minute. You would do their temperature manually, then that took a minute. So, and count their pulse rate. So you had to stand there and actually count them. Sometimes you couldn't because it was going too fast. But now, these days, you just look up on the monitor, press a button and say, oh yeah, that's good. So it's only a minute, whereas it used to take 5 to 10 minutes in you know, a long time ago. So that one's of me when I was training. I think that was my first, because I don't have stripes on my cap. So my first year. So we used to have these caps, and basically when you went to work, you always had to have your hair tied back, so I had to tie my hair back. And this is just one of the patients. We took photos. That's the registered nurse and the nurses. And this is my group when I was training. So that's all of us as we finished our training. And this is us on night shift. You go a bit loopy on night shift. So, but I was just saying before, when I came to the interview, nearly everybody smoked. And there was, the smoking area was bigger than the actual cafeteria. And now there's no smoking areas. So, you know, things have changed. But everybody smoked when I started. I started smoking. I don't smoke anymore, of course. But yeah, so that was the big thing that nurses did. And I suppose it was a stress releaser. My badge that I received when I finished nursing, and it's actually sterling silver. So I trained at St Vincent's Hospital in Sydney, And this is the belt buckle that the registered nurses would wear, but they phased that out after our group finished. We didn't wear them. I've never ever worn it. So it's quite a big buckle, as you can see. And you used to wear it with a white belt with a white uniform, which is ludicrous. Nurses shouldn't wear white. Look, if there's anything that I can do to encourage somebody to do nursing, is that I love my job. I come to work every day, I love my job. I don't like the politics behind it, but I love what I do. I love my patients. And if they can come to and do nursing and see that, you know, that the patients really need you and they're so grateful for what you do for them, it's just beyond words. You can't put it into words, but when you see somebody that you've looked after and they come up to you and they say, "Hi, do you remember me? I was really sick and you helped me get through it." That's just so worth it. So if you ever want to do nursing, that's your reward. Some people may not see that as a big reward, but I do. And I think that that's really important, that you're making somebody's day, you're making somebody's life. So, you know, that's the only thing I can tell you. Do it, because it's great. It's hard,